All right, in section 8.2, we were learning how to plot points and how to graph lines. Now later in the chapter we did learn easier ways to graph lines, but I'll review with you how we first learned how to graph lines. If I asked you, give me a solution to the equation x plus y equals 6, you could make up anything you want for x, plug it in, solve for y, so you could figure out 0, 6 is a solution, 1, 5 is a solution, 2, 4 is a solution. You could be there all day. There's an infinite number of solutions. So the first way we learned to graph a line was just, I asked you guys to find 3 points, randomly generate 3 points that are solutions to the equation, and graph them. You plot the point 0, 6. 0 is on your x-axis. 6 is on the y-axis. So the point 0, 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 6. So the x-coordinate is 0, the y-coordinate is 6. The point 1, 5, the x-coordinate is 1, the y-coordinate is 5, and 2, 4, the x-coordinate is 2, and the y-coordinate is 4. And then you can connect those 3 points with a nice straight line using a ruler. Remember, I told you guys to do 3 points because sometimes you can make a small math error and maybe you miscalculate 1 point and you think it's up there. And if you don't have that third point to make sure all 3 points fall in a line, you might accidentally think your line looks something like that. So 3 points is a better way to make sure you have your line graphed accurately. That was about it from this section. So maybe I'll move on to section 8.3. In section 8.3, we introduced the concept of slope. So we learned a few things about slope. We learned that the general formula is rise over run. Another way to think about that is change in y over change in x. And if I gave you 2 points, the way you would figure out change in y over change in x is just by finding the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. So for example, if I gave you the points 8, 4 and 6, 5 and asked you to find the slope of the line that goes through those 2 points, and remember we also learned that the abbreviation for slope is m, I can just subtract my y's in the numerator. And if I'm going to subtract 5 minus 4, I have to subtract the x's in the same order. So I have to subtract the x's as 6 minus 8. So my slope is 1 over negative 2. If I had calculated slope by finding the differences in the other direction, you'd see I'd get the same thing. So if I subtracted the y's instead in the order of 4 minus 5 and subtracted the x's in the same order, 8 minus 6, I would still get a slope of negative a half. So it doesn't matter the order that you subtract them in, but you have to be consistent. That's one way we learn to find slope of a line if given 2 points. And I think maybe I'll pause there and move on to 8.4 in the next recording.